Today at the town board meeting in the town of Lockport. Meeting starts at 7:30, so it's starting about 5 minutes from now, and that'll be pretty good. I brought my meeting notes, guys.
Are you here for schools and whatnot?
Yeah. Does it honk?
No.
Honka. So let's go get that meeting.
Who'd you run?
I don't have friends.
On the 16th. We were supposed to do Saturday, but we're not. No, Roy Hart. Yeah. No, we're not doing that because I have no knowledge. And then, what's the other one?
Got a cookie crocker up there.
Yeah, 2 days long. The 16th, that brings it. I don't know, I just worry about one next week. But I know we're there Wednesday we're here Friday and there Wednesday for the wrestling. There was Lockport.
I hear they got some type of policy that restricts the speech here. We're gonna find out about it tonight.
Do I know you, sir?
The town attorney's not here today? Maybe you couldn't get a ride. Oh, I see him up there. The town attorney just got himself a DWI recently.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Town of Lockport organizational meeting for January 3rd, 2024. We'll start the meeting by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, once again, welcome to our January 3rd meeting. Welcome to all the people that are watching on LCTV. We appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to learn about what's going on in the town of Lockport. Clerk Newbold.
I would like to ask Supervisor Crocker, Councilmember Sejak, and Tom down to the podium for installation, please. It might be a little short for this. You want to just put your hand on?
Sure.
I might be a little short for this. That's okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and faithfully discharge the duties of your position in and for the town of Lockport to the best of your ability? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, before we get started with our formal meeting, I'd like to, on behalf of the town board, take a moment to remember a fallen friend of ours, Barry Coburn. He was a wonderful dog control officer. He sincerely cared for the animals. He had a heart of gold. He was dedicated to the fire company at Rapids. And most of all, he was a good friend to almost all of us. We knew him, we appreciated his sense of humor and his dedication to his family. So if you would, I'd like to take a moment of silence for our friend Barry Coburn. Thank you. All right, so we're going to start with our normal meeting, which includes public speaking. We have public speaking rules, and I'd like to go over them briefly. Number one, the speaker should be able to, if they're able to stand, give their name and address. Number two, only one person at a time may speak. Number three, all comments may be directed to the town board. There will be no back and forth with the audience members. Keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. This is your opportunity and our opportunity to listen to your concerns. It is not to engage in back and forth with the board. If you have any questions, you may state them. If they choose, the board may address your questions after the close of public comments. Lastly, if abusive comments are made from the floor, or if any speaker uses inappropriate language or becomes unruly or personally attacks any person, you will be cut off and may be removed from the hall. Okay, so I'm going to open up public comments right now for anybody who has anything they'd like to address the board. Please, your name and address and your issues, please.
David Mongello, 5099 Gate Road. Yes, Barry was a nice guy. I served next to him multiple times being a volunteer firefighter. He stood up beyond and above for the community.
Indeed.
Hello, my name is Dave Mongello. Past 4 years, I do have a video channel. It's under David Mongello. If everybody wants to see the proof of these documented videos, they're on my YouTube channel, David Mongello. For the past 4 years, has been most difficult for law enforcement. It seems to be getting worse. We see officers second-guessing decisions they need to make for the good of the community, especially when the state forces them to release criminals back on the street. It frustrates the officers seeing these criminals commit crimes again and again, having to arrest them, same criminals over and over. It's unacceptable. It can be fixed at a local level, but the local politicians won't, putting our men in blue at risk. Worse yet, when politicians force officers to break the law, yes, this has happened in New York State before. In the early 1900s, it was called Tammany Hall. All elected officials belong to the Irish mob, senators, congressmen, police chiefs, mayors, and more. They used their money and influence to convince the people they were good, when in truth they were committing the worst crimes imaginable. Thank God they were stopped by everyday people on the grand jury. The current Democratic downstate crime syndicate is forcing unlawful and unconstitutional statutes down our throats, pursuing an agenda against the public good. To make it worse, local officials make excuses, thinking they can't do anything when in truth they can. But they won't because they get paid by the government, lifetime benefits and all. The state steals our money in taxes and uses it to extort local politicians to protect their criminal enterprise. At what point did we, the people, give up our rights and become slaves to the Democratic majority having to obey these ridiculous statutes that are virtually killing people, statutes written by incompetent politicians? We deserve better. We deserve leadership willing to stand up for the common good of mankind. But our rights won't get protected because this criminal syndicate it exists right here in Erie County. Talking to attorneys in other counties, they refuse to even practice law here because it's so crooked. Some attorneys even go on to say it's like going to a different country. I demand the immediate resignation of select officials and government employees. They have committed crimes and violated town ethics, in turn losing the public trust. These officials, including our own Sheriff Bill Citing, committed misdemeanors by lying on court documents. These officials forced sheriff's deputies to file fraudulent harassment charges, even though the deputies knew it was wrong. As they stated on body cams, you can see on my YouTube channel. These three officials are Mark Crocker, Darlene DiCarlo, and David Miller. To secure the public trust, I demand the resignation of Judge Sherilyn Koyak. She gave unlawful legal advice because she's not an attorney and violated judicial ethics by recommending these officials commit a crime all caught on body cams. I demand the town stop using Seaman and Norris law firm. Brian Seaman, the county district attorney, pursued fraudulent harassment charges, has lied to taxpayers, and has refused to prosecute politicians that have committed crimes. Mike Norris, our state assemblyman, at least has committed 3 state crimes, but was not charged because he testified against co-conspirators George Maziarz and Senator Robert Orr, who were both indicted. Dan Seaman, who was the town attorney 10 years ago, lost public trust because he told town residents to F off when they tried to help him after he crashed his truck intoxicated. He resisted arrest and refused the DWI check and resigned a month later after he brought it at a town board meeting. To secure the public trust, I demand the resignation of Tom Seaman. Yes, we are human, we make mistakes, but you should have not refused a lawful request for a DUI check during the check. End of last year, you pleaded guilty. To secure the public trust, I demand the resignation of Paul Sajak for stealing our election signs. There is a police report on it. It's on my video channel. To secure the public trust, I demand the resignation of Joe Fowler for doing unlawful, unnecessary reassessments and ignoring court orders. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Monticello.
How you guys doing? My name is Dan, Erie County. My residency is Erie County. And I come up here to also demand the resignations from especially Mark Crocker, the corrupt supervisor of the town, who just literally took an oath of office, swore on the Bible, then minutes later gave us restrictions of speech during public comment meetings, and threatening law enforcement removal of the town hall for saying things like fuck, piss, shit, constitutionally protected words. You all just swore an oath on the Bible. That is not something you can restrict in this public meeting under any circumstances. So if you're not going to take your oath serious, then I suggest you all resign. I've seen a lot of corruption in this town, and I've been here a short period, and I'm just letting you all know, you guys are all under investigation. And I will be investigating every single one of you, including stealing of election signs. Guy thinks it's funny. Look at that smile on his face. This guy here gaslights. Mark Crocker, he's out here gaslighting the public here to answer questions and refuses to answer questions. That's all I got to say. I would expect some integrity from you guys, and you very well should resign.
Thank you, Mr. County. Do we have any other speakers that wish to be here tonight? Name, address, and your issue, please.
Yes, my name is Steve, and I'm also from Erie County. New York State real property tax law requires the town of Lockport, and really all upstate towns, to properly assess residential property values and all property values at full market value as of July 1st of the year preceding the publishing of the final tax roll. Let's take a look at how the town of Lockport did in 2023. So July 1, 2022 would have been the valuation date for these properties, all right? 6579 Royal Parkway North, sold on June 28th of 2022 for $230,000, arm's length sale. Assessed value, $230,000. Applause, the town got that one correct. 6533 Amy Lane, sold June 17th, 2022, sale price $319,500. Assessed value, $300,000. Ooh, off quite a bit, 19.5 below the sale price. 6979 Logwood Lane West, sold 6/17/2022, $555,000, arm's length transaction. Assessed value, $462,000, $93,000 below the sale price. So the actual assessment ratio for that property was 83%. The one I mentioned prior to that, 94%. The correct assessment ratio that the town says it assesses at is 100%. I represented 6 different residents in the town of Lockport in the 2023 assessment year to challenge their unlawful assessments. I can go down this list of hundreds of arm's length transactions and show that the vast majority of these, 70%, are assessed at 100% or more. That generates an error rate of 30% of these properties that are underassessed. When you underassess an entire town by 30%, that excess tax burden has to go somewhere onto other people because the total amount of tax levy doesn't go down, it just goes on somebody else. In the town of Lockport, that's people who purchased recently, build recently, the people who are not friends of the town government. Now, I had to go on a 5-month odyssey with these 6 residents through Board of Assessment Review to get declined for reductions, go to Small Claims Assessment Review where I won all 6 cases, only to find out that the town was going to email me and say, well, you know, we got the decisions too late. In fact, we don't even think that the hearing officer sent us the decisions, so we're just not going to reduce these assessed values to their lawful, correct, lower value before the 2024 town and county tax bills come out. So we have illegal assessments on the roll. So this issue has been brought to the town's attention. I know there are people on the board who I've visited and provided this documentation to. And my question is, when are the illegal assessments going to stop? And what is going to be done to hold the assessor accountable for this malfeasance? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Erie County.
One thing is, a lot of people are asking about this flag.
No,
about
sir,
how
you've
stars.
already spoken.
Well, I'm just saying, at the end, if anybody would like to say why there's not 50 stars on that flag.
Who else would like to speak, please? Your name, your address, and your issue, please.
Hi guys, I'm here to point out some pretty comical hypocrisy I've witnessed from employees and elected officials in here in Lockport. I've printed the Town of Lockport Code of Ethics, which if you guys can read, you really should. It talks about the ethics standards that employees and elected officials are held to. And I'm going to reference this and point out that violating these standards is about the only thing you guys do well. I'll start with section 10.5. No town employee shall accept other employment which impairs his independence of judgment in the exercise of his official duties. And we'll actually combine 10B while listening to some other people speak. Let me find 10B here for you guys. I got it, don't worry. I don't want to, 10B, where'd you go here? Sorry, got a lot of redress, guys. No town employee shall accept employment or engage in any business or professional activity which will require him to disclose confidential information which he has gained by reason of his official position or authority. I would argue having a town attorney that works for a firm that represents the town doing just that, especially when he's involved in solar projects on both of his firm and the town, when the residents are generally against it, but the town pushes it through. Following that is 10C. No town employee shall use or attempt to use his official position to secure unwarranted privileges or exemptions for himself or others. Watching that body cam footage of some of you guys trying to file a false police report, lying about seeing a gun, and luckily the cop talked you out of that, getting an unwarranted privilege. I would argue that's using unwarranted privileges or exemptions for himself by purely being in a position of power. Watching the husband of a board member get arrested for a crime and getting preferential treatment in the back of a cop car. Once again, using unwarranted privileges and exemptions. 10E, a town employee shall not by his conduct give reasonable basis for the impression that any person can properly influence him or unduly enjoy his favor in the performance of his official duties, or that he's affected by the kinship, rank, position, or influence of any party or position. I would argue that Mark Crocker, bragging he has the most loyal employees, implying that they don't work for the taxpayers, only for himself, is doing just that. Lastly, in section 10G, each town employee shall endeavor to pursue a course of conduct which will not raise suspicion amongst the public that he is likely to be engaged in acts that are in violation of this trust. Well, guys, I will grant that's wonderful legal jargon, and my father is not a lawyer, he was a farmer, so I didn't get a sweet law job. Nepotism is great when it works for you. So it's hard to interpret, and doing so makes it hard for you guys to actually take the blame for your actions. But I would argue that your town assessor illegally assessing people to generate tax revenue to fund the government jobs program is a perfect example of the incompetency or corruption. Let's not, it might be both, it might be one or the other, I don't know, of the town of Lockport. Your taxpayers are receiving poor services from your town and rightfully refuting their assessments. And while quite aware of the legality of these assessments, town officials are continuing to bury their head in the sand and not support the taxpayers, the same people that put you here, and refusing to correct their mistakes in a timely manner. Section 10.6 states that in addition to any penalty contained in any provision of law, any town employee who knowingly and intentionally violates any of the provisions should be fined, suspended, or removed from office or employment in the matter of law. Now, some people called for you guys to resign. I'm not doing that. It's even better. I understand that, Mark Crocker, you like to say that you're in charge, you're the head honcho. We saw that on video. It was great peacocking. I was impressed. But I know the government's going to investigate itself and find no wrongdoing. Quite frankly, I don't know if you guys are able to do the investigation. I question the competency that the investigation be done for. But the town of Lockport doesn't care about competency. It doesn't care about service, and it doesn't care about proper business practices. It cares about loyalties inside the club and the government welfare paycheck that they are guaranteed. I know you guys aren't going to resign. You guys can't step down. You guys aren't going to fire yourself, and quite frankly, it's because you can't. I question your ability to function in the real world, in the market of ideas, and I question your ability to have a real job, one that's funded by customers who actually want to use your services, not ones that are forced to pay for your services through implied gun violence, because if the people didn't pay their taxes, you would gladly send them with guns to remove them from their homes so you can sell it and take the surplus proceeds. We know that. Because of this, I feel terrible for the town of Lockport because they're horribly represented by some awful people. They're not sending their best. So again, I know you guys aren't going to resign, you guys aren't going to step down, you're going to keep your jobs, you're going to keep the paycheck. But I want to do one thing. You guys know who Amy Schumer is, politician? You guys are the Amy Schumer of politicians. Sorry, she's a comedian. You guys are the politicians. No one knows how she got there. Nowhere finds her to be quite talented. It's probably who she's related to or who she's sleeping with. But unlike you guys, you do have a one-up on her. You guys are actually funny. You guys are a great punchline. The best you can do is a government-funded welfare job paid for by the people of Lockport. You can't create, you can't innovate, you never survive in the market of ideas of the real world. So I want you to know, every time you guys cash that government-funded paycheck, we're laughing at you. You guys are a circus. Lockport is a circus, and you guys are the clowns. Dan's got a little nose for you guys if you want to share it when you get in your clown car afterwards. But
Sir, can you
I'm not done. I want to let you know, no matter how bad of a day I'm having.
But can you consider
I'm
wrapping
not.
it up, because we have a 3-minute and you've already gone 5.
Well, it's worth it. But
Well, I'm asking
no
you,
matter
sir.
how bad of a day I'm having.
asking you to
I'm
consider
not.
wrapping this up, sir.
I'm actually, last sentence. Continue to be corrupt. Continue to be incompetent. And let me keep laughing at you guys. Thank you guys for your time. Keep up the, well, you know.
Okay, so thank
Let's
you.
act now, video,
As
guys.
far as our public speaking rules are concerned, the board may address any questions if they wish, because the public comments, in fact, does anyone have anything else to say? Okay, so public comments is closed. And as such, as far as the public speaking rules, the board is entitled at this moment to address any questions that they wish to address. Does the town board have anything they wish to say on these issues? Okay, public comments is now closed for comments from the board. So we're going to move on to our business meeting. We have number 1, approval of the minutes from December 4th, 2023, December 6th, 2023. All minutes may be found on the Town of Lockport website, eLockport, under the Town Board Minutes section, or obtained from the Town Clerk's office. Do I have a motion? Motion made by Councilman Keough, seconded by Councilman Sejack. All in favor? Aye. Number 2, approval of the payment of the bills.
Mr. Supervisor, I had the opportunity to review vouchers 51614 through vouchers 51656. 21 of these vouchers included the end of the billing period of these vouchers that begin the January 2024 billing period, which totaled $299,296.71. The total of all 43 vouchers was $833,136.65. After careful analysis, I recommend my fellow council members that these bills be paid.
Councilman Sejack has made the motion that we pay for the bills that as mentioned. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeCarlo. All in favor?
Aye.
Communications, Clerk Newbold, please.
The following individuals have passed the mandatory physical and other requirements for acceptance into the fire service, and they've been processed and approved through the Town of Lockport Fire Prevention Bureau. Evan Smeal from Rapids Fire Company.
I'll make that motion.
Councilman Keo would like to make the motion to honor Evan Steele into the fire company service. Do we have a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Dufour. All in favor? Aye.
Consistent with Section 2019A of the Uniform Justice Court Act, we hereby advise that the records and docket for the Town of Lockport Court for calendar year are available to be presented for examination. They look forward to working to schedule an examination in an expeditious manner. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Clerk Newbold. Number 4, Building Inspector's Report.
Thank you, Supervisor Crocker. Our building inspector, Brian Belson, reports that for the month of December, he issued 28 building permits, total fees collected $3,055, estimated cost of construction $787,719. I'd like to make a motion to approve his report as submitted.
Councilwoman Dufour has made the motion. We accept the the building inspector's report. Do I have a second? Seconded by Councilwoman DeCarlo. All in favor? Aye. Number 5, Supervisor's Monthly Financial Report was placed in the council's mailbox. If there isn't any questions, I'd like a motion to approve it, please.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Sejack. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6. Resolution to adopt the 2024 Town of Lockport appointments for as set forth on the list of appointments before the board. Clerk Newbold.
Patricia George for the Cable Commission, term of expiration 12/31/24. Clerks full-time, Mary Jo L. Smallman from 1/1/2024 to 1/8/2024, and Shannon LaForme from 1/10/24 to 12/31/24. Court Clerk, Mary Anderson from 1/1/2024 to 1/8/2024, and Mary Joelle Smallman from 1/9/2024 to 12/31/2024. Deputy Highway Superintendent Kyle Rankin, Deputy Supervisor Patricia Dufour, Deputy Town Clerk Amy Barrett, all with a 12/31/2024 term of expiration. The Fire Board, Norm Pearson, Mike Moore, Derek Caldwell, Jonathan McKnight, Nick Bays, and Roland Graham. The term of expiration 12/31/2024. The Industrial Development Agency, Terry Kuska, the Director, with a term of expiration of 12/31/2030. Planning Board, Joseph Castle, term of expiration 12/31/30. Recreation Commission, Alyssa Edbauer, expiration 12/31/28. Sub-Registrar Amy Brent, 12/31/2024. Zoning Board, James Polito, with a term expiration of 12/31/28. Board of Assessment Review, Sandra Galanka, term of expiration 9/30/2028.
All right, I'd like a motion on the appointments that the clerk just read. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Keo,
I'll second it.
seconded by Councilwoman Dufour. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, resolution to adopt the 2024 Town of Lockport balance of appointments as set forth on the list of appointments before the board. Any questions? Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo,
I'll second it.
seconded by Councilman Sejack. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 8, resolution to approve the 2024 salaries pursuant to a list provided by the town supervisor, available for review at the town clerk's office.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Sejack,
I'll second it.
seconded by Councilwoman DeCarlo. All in favor? Aye. Number 9, resolution to approve the appointment of Mark R. Smith to represent the town of Lockport as a member of the New York State 497 Safety Group.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Dufour,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Keel. I should mention that this position by Mark Smith to represent us at the New York State 497 Safety Group is a volunteer position. There is no wages associated with that. We appreciate Mr. Smith stepping up with all his insurance experience. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 10, resolution to approve travel by town officials for the purpose of education or other requirements as necessary for their position. Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo, seconded by Councilman Keo. All in favor?
Aye.
11, resolution to approve the 2024 mileage reimbursement rate of 67 cents per mile based on the IRS standard rate.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Keo,
I'll second.
seconded by Councilman Seejak. All in favor?
Aye.
12, resolution to approve the Union and Sun and Journal as the official official newspaper for the town of Lockport for 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Keel. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 13, resolution to approve M&T Bank, Key Bank, Evans Bank, and Citizens Bank as the official town depositories and related banking services for 2024, and to authorize the town of Lockport supervisor to enter into agreements with said banking institutions.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman Dufour.
And I'll second it.
Second made by Councilman Seejak. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 14, resolution to adopt the town of Lockport procurement policy for 2024.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Keel. All in favor?
Aye.
15, resolution to approve the firm of Lumsden and McCormick as the official auditors for the town of Lockport for 2024.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Keel. All in favor?
Aye.
16, resolution to approve expenditures for training in 2024 as requested by the building inspector.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Dufour,
Second.
seconded by Councilwoman DeCarlo. All in favor?
Aye.
17, resolution to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with Seaman Norris LLP to provide secretarial staff for the town attorney.
I'll make that motion.
Well, before you do that, the clerk has a letter she needs to read.
Pursuant to Section 801 of the General Municipal Law, Thomas Seaman submitted a letter disclosing that the firm Seaman Norris LLP may have an interest in a proposed contract for secretarial services, and as such, his position as town attorney would preclude him from preparing or approving such contract under a conflict of interest, and advised that outside counsel be retained for the purpose of approving or preparing any such contract.
Any questions about that? Okay,
And I would still like to make that motion.
Councilman Seejak has made the motion, we approve the resolution.
I'd like to second it.
Seconded by Councilwoman Dufour. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, resolution to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with the town of Lockport Industrial Development Agency for services relating to the administrative director and secretarial services for the town of Lockport IDA.
I'd like to make that motion.
Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Keel. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 19, resolution to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract with David J. Haylett Jr. to provide legal services for the town of Lockport prosecutor.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Keel, seconded by Councilwoman DeCarlo. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 20, resolution to approve the yearly meetings and set the schedule for the town fire board, town board, planning board, and the zoning board.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Keel,
I'll second it.
seconded by Councilman Seejak. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 21, town board comments. We'll start with Mr. Keel. All right. Councilwoman Dufour.
The only thing I'd like to do is wish our residents a very happy and healthy new year. Thank you.
Councilman CJ.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. Yeah, first I want to thank everybody for coming out. And also, it's 2024, and this is what we've been talking about for the last 12 months, our bicentennial. And I'm sure everybody's aware of our birthday is February 2nd, and 2024 will be 200 years. And we will be having a birthday ceremony and reception here at Town Hall at 5 p.m. It's a Friday. All town residents are invited, and we look forward to the town board and everybody looks forward to all our residents attending this prestigious event. I know the gentleman there mentioned about the flag. The flag is part of what we planned for the bicentennial. It's a 24-star flag. It goes 24 states in the Union in 1824, so symbolizing the birth of the town and how many states were in the Union at the time. We also have a plaque here on the dais. It's been for our bicentennial, and we've been having banners outside the building, and there's going to be other events through the year. I know our big event probably will be in the summertime in coordination with the Recreation Committee, but our Lockport Community Days. But first, let's have the birthday celebration. We're going to have we'll have cake, we'll have light refreshments. It's February 2nd, 5 p.m. Town of Lockport residents are invited. Thank you very much.
All right, before we go to Councilman DeCarlo, I'd like to thank Councilman Cechek for all the hard work as the chairman of the Bicentennial Committee. He's done a lot of work and a lot of preparation for this, and I sure hope people can come out and celebrate with us. It's going to be a big year. Thank you. Councilwoman DeCarlo, please.
I would just like to wish everybody a happy and healthy 2024. That's all I have.
All right. I'd like to wrap things up by thanking all our people that watch this program on LCTV. We appreciate your time and effort to stay in touch with the town. So have a good evening, and look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you very much. Good night.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilwoman DeCarlo, seconded by Councilman Keel. All in favor? Aye. Okay, now, we'll see you next month. Thank you. Good night.
I know you guys mentioned about Mr. Cechek here stealing election signs. That's a story to come.
Keep up the good work. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Got some Erie County fan in the field here. Not too packed down here, guys.
We go ahead and file the paperwork, and we only get paid out basically the savings that you get. We get a portion of that. So the more we save for you, the more that we get paid. So we're highly incentivized to get you reduced as much as possible. I don't have it on me, but I can write down my contact information for you. Dan, if you could just show the officer observes the attorney, I think we may be on the same. Thank
No, I think, yeah, keep in mind.
Like one of the ones you sent me. I don't know if I've ever seen him before. I don't know, he looks familiar to me for some reason.
Yeah. You too. I'm ordering Erie County.
Oh, no, it actually is. Sometimes I think the power goes back on and off.
After we shut it down, it's like.
No, it should all fire back up by circuit.
And it is.
With those mini computers.
I know you mentioned the centennial celebration.
Bicentennial,
For
yes.
town members, are non-members of the town allowed?
Yeah, well, it's actually for the town of Lockport residents. I mean, this is their community, and this, we're going to celebrate this bicentennial with our
But other people from other towns are allowed to, yeah, it makes sense.
With our bicentennial.
Makes sense. Thank you.
As you can see, in the back,
Get too far, let dies, and the signal dies.
The guy called the cops.
Who?
He's the one who called the trooper.
Who?
This guy, the security.
Security called the trooper? Why?
We'll find out when we will request the call.
So this is the town, what the town looked like. 1852 compared to 2024. I don't really see too much of a difference other than the city of Lockport's a little bigger versus back then. Thank you.
Appreciate it. How do you waste tax dollars on asking me to come over here? You obviously had a reason. I asked him to come over. That was your reason?
wanted to come over, so there was a second person. No particular.
So this guy called the state trooper here.
Because you were swearing, I'm guessing, and then he thought they were going to ask you to leave.
They better not. They literally swore an oath to the Constitution for my right to say those words in a public forum like this. This guy called the state trooper on us.
So, no, I mean, he's a snowblower. Okay, they want a smaller one.
I don't know anybody right now.
Thanks a lot.
Oh boy, that's something else. So that's the public meeting, guys. Where's Dwayne? He leave already?
Somebody.
Oh, it's they're talking about the Lockport Sun guy.
No, I know. It is. I think it's two people.
I don't want to say it. It's not, but it's Stephen O'Better. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yes, Stephen O'Better. But we've dealt with it with other towns. This is the only town that's been this hesitant and resistant.
You personally?
Yeah, that's, talk to Steve. He'll give you better details. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't want to give you wrong information.
It's all right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go and say.
I know. Yeah, I know.
You're a smart guy.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not giving you the best information. I'm kind of limited. Sorry.
I just want to point out this is Act Now Media, guys. Subscribe to his channel. He was the one who made that speech up there. Everybody who watched the Act Now Media speech, but this is Act Now Media. So just wanted to make sure you guys know who Dwayne is from Act Now Media.
Dwayne also got the present for Congress.
I did not win. I got the bronze medalist.
You won in that debate.
Bronze medalist. Yeah. Let me
I think Steve is giving somebody a card. But all right, guys, I will see you all in the comment section. I'm gonna shut her down from here. We all had a cranking good time here at the town board meeting, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.
I know we were in